hopes that he raised in the campaign. My concern, and I'm sorry, but I have to ask you this question. I mean, look, what I see is that the redistribution of wealth upwards, okay, from the lower income, middle income, up to the 1% of the 1%, is the connective tissue between everything that the Trump administration and the Republican-controlled Congress are doing, whether it is his climate policies, his attacks on regulation. I mean, there's so much going on. Maybe you missed the bit yesterday when Donald Trump threw binders filled with environmental reviews off a desk in some ridiculous, a stunt. But getting rid of those regulations is a huge corporate handout. Getting rid of the estate tax, 15% corporate flat tax. His whole infrastructure plan turns out to be a massive privatization plan. Who could have guessed? It's the connective tissue between what he's doing with Social Security, what he's doing with healthcare, all of it. So my question to you, I'm sorry, but I have questions, is what I'm worried about is what does all of the focus on in the impeachment strategy, which is how I read this, all in on Russia. And I mean, it has to be investigated. This is not about whether or not it should be investigated. It has to be talked about. But it seems like it's like 90% of what is being talked about by the Democrats and on MSNBC. And what I want to know is, that's not what's going to kill Trump's brand. That confirms his brand, if we're looking at it from this perspective, because that's just one team attacking another team. But systematically exposing this lie at the center of the MAGA brand, what do you think?
No, I couldn't agree with you more. While they are focusing on having us focus on Jeff Sessions and all this other stuff, James Comey, the Senate is writing the healthcare bill that is going to strip healthcare from 23 million Americans across this country, and they hope to pass it at the end of the month, and they hope that we are distracted. And so we have been trying to put out the call, and since you've given me the forum to say, here's the call. We need people to weigh in, because they are saying that they might pass a bill with 51 votes in the Senate by the end of this month, and that they hope to have it on the president's desk to sign by August 1st. So this is an emergency, because if you look at that, and I refuse to call it a healthcare bill, you can't call a bill a healthcare bill when it strips 23 million Americans of healthcare. We should be moving to Medicare for all. That's what I believe in.